the opposition NDC has hinted of an avalanche of court cases against the Electoral Commission after Parliament, through a majority decision, gave permission to the EC to use the Ghana card and passport as the source documents for the registration. The Commission subsequently announced it would begin the mass registration exercise for the compilation of the new electoral roll on June 30. There's been growing opposition to the EC's decision to compile the new electoral roll, and Director of Elections for the NDC, Elvis Efriankra, says the Commission's resolve on using the NIA card is arbitrary and illogical. He spoke to my colleague Gifty Ando-Apia on the AM show.
It's going to be complex because you need to fill forms. It will make the process delay, and therefore it will make the entire process more difficult. So we're saying that it will be extremely impossible for the EC to register 17 million people plus within a month. It's a practical impossibility in a rainy season, in a COVID-19 era. By the time we are finished, God forbid, the infection rate would have jumped to 100,000.
And that's a point that the NDC has started making. In fact, your minority in Parliament has started making this morning.
We've been saying this right from get-go.
And well, it's now coming from Parliament, the angle that this is going to create some
It's been one of the reasons. It's been one of the reasons that we've articulated
that they're going to observe all the protocols.
It still does not. It doesn't make sense. On your screens right now, you're seeing people gathered to go and register. Okay.
I don't know you are seeing that here, but we did put that on at the point. Those are old rituals anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We know how registration occurs in this country. If you talk about 25 people within the perimeter, you can have control of people within the perimeter. But what about outside the perimeter? If you're doing 6 days of registration in a cluster, people will come the first day by their so-called pilot or demonstration. Only 40, 50 people will be able to register. The next day, the number will increase exponentially. By the third or fourth day, there is going to be chaos. Okay. This is not a prophecy.
You are going to give me a particular legal
42 says every citizen of 18 years or some has a right to vote and is entitled. You see the language, the right to vote. So that right, you can decide not to exercise. But when it comes to registration, it is your entitlement. And therefore, the state, which is the Electoral Commission paid by us, must put in place every measure, systems, mechanisms, processes, and procedures to ensure that that right is exercised. Then quickly, 45.
I need to wrap up.
45, quick one. The Electoral Commission shall have the following functions: to compile the register of voters and revise it at such periods as may be determined by law. But what people are not paying attention to undertake programs for the expansion of the registration of voters. You ask yourself, by these measures that have been put in place, by these unreasonable measures, will it lead to an expansion of the registration of voters? The answer is no. Okay. Many people do not have their Ghana card. Many people do not have passports. The process of guaranteeing is going to make it very cumbersome. And if you look at the demographics from Bono all the way up, it's incredible if you look at the numbers. And imagine a situation where we had 17 million people on the voters roll, and because of the EC's own intransigence, they go ahead and do this COVID-19, and then at the end of the day, you have less people on the register.
So you're looking to challenge this new law?
Oh, we will do whatever it takes, and because it's just not. We want peace in this country. Electoral disputes have led to serious consequences in other countries, and we don't want that to happen. And that is why we keep on talking to the citizens, and thank God, many more people are supporting our position. Many more people have seen that the EC is being unreasonable, is being arbitrary, and we have Supreme Court cases, we have precedents, and we are confident that at the end of the day, the will of the people will prevail.